Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and Halo Wars 2 needs your help. If you've been following the meta, I guess, of Halo Wars 2, you've noticed that there hasn't been very many balance updates to the game. There was one last year, was the most recent one up until April of this year. We went almost 6 months in between balance patches, and the balance is kind of out of whack right now. There were a lot of things that players wanted changed to the game that just didn't make it into this patch. So what the point of this video is to say that Halo Wars 2 needs your help, and there's a new tool that the community is using and 343 has recognized as a feedback tool for Halo Wars 2, and it's something that you should definitely check out to help make Halo Wars 2 better. Because in the last patch, the only thing that got touched was Pavium's Burnout, the Arbiter's Conduit of Rage, barely messing with Colony's Goliaths, and buffs to Serena's Cryotroopers and the Isabel, a little bit of buffs there, and Junk Pack Brood's got a little bit of a nerf as well as Beam 3, but it didn't really change the damage at all, actually. So it still is kind of a nuke leader power. Anyway, a lot of the people in the community were really hoping that there were nerfs to both Anders and Decimus, because those are the two strongest leaders in each faction right now. And that just didn't happen. And so people are really curious when the next balance change is even going to happen. And there were some other changes that people wanted added into the game that hasn't made it into the game yet. And it leaves people a little bit worried if they're either going to come into the game. An example of this is more options for custom games is something people were requesting. People are still waiting for Fort Jordan to be implemented into matchmaking. I mean, this map came out like 3 months ago, and it really I've not seen anything about changes to the bugs in this map or any news about this map being put into matchmaking. Another thing people have been requesting in the community is changes to Fort Jordan. They really want it implemented into matchmaking, at least Team War at the minimum. I'm not sure if this map will ever make it into rank just because of the way that it's designed, and it'll really turn into a turtling style map. But there's some bugs on the map I know that are really prevalent to a lot of players, and I've heard no news of those bug fixes to that map or adding it into matchmaking. And I'm really worried that it may never get out of the state that it's in. I mean, if it's taken them 3 months and they haven't done anything to it yet, how much longer time is it going to take for it to be put into matchmaking or other game modes? And I know that the team who handles Halo Wars 2 is quite busy with the Master Chief Collection and probably some other small projects at 343. However, I really don't think that the balance changes that the players are requesting is that hard to implement. My guess I could be wrong, but my guess is that the balance changes and the attributes for units are simply just numbers on an XML file, and it's like really easy to change. You just change the number, and then you save it, and then you just gotta publish the build. But I could be wrong, but that's just my assumption and guess of how it's done. And I don't think that there's really anything in here that would make this seem like a lot of work to put in. And I really think it just comes down to that they're just too busy. And as a fan of Halo Wars 2, as someone who loves the game so much, it's really disappointing. But there is some good news. The good news is that there's a tool that 343 has recognized as a Halo Wars 2 feedback tool, and instead of everyone commenting on forums saying buff this, nerf that, do this, that, and the other, there's a site, and I'm not sure if 343 made it or someone in the community did. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's feedback.didact.io, and what this is, it's a voting website kind of thing where you can suggest balance changes for Halo Wars 2, and there's different categories depending if it's a leader or a leader power or a hero balance or something, or if it's to a bug, or if it has to deal with certain game modes like 1v1 and 2v2 and stuff. It's really cool. You can vote on other people's suggestions of what they suggested so far. You can upvote it or downvote it. You can comment and say, yeah, I really like this, or say, no, this is awful. So I would really encourage you to, before you even go in there and start submitting all these changes, that you click on the sorting thing and do the most voted, or what is it? I think it's most wanted is how it's labeled on the sorting thing, and just read through what other people have suggested and make meaningful comments towards those, whether it's positive or negative, because at the end of however long that this analysis is going to go on, they are really going to look at, and by they I mean 343, is really going to look at the top voted issues and implement those in. So adding duplicates will just make it worse for everyone. So I would really make sure that you look at the most wanted stuff, add some conversation to those, and then if something that you see isn't on here yet, then go ahead and add a topic to be voted on. Anyway, post your thoughts of the balance in Halo Wars 2. I'd really love to know if I'm alone in thinking that we're not getting the most meaningful balance updates that we can at this point. I feel like that the balance can move forward a lot better, and it really doesn't need to take this long for balance patch changes. But I could be alone in that. Post your thoughts in the comments below. Love to hear what you have to say. And yeah, hopefully some good things will come out of this. Thanks for watching. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and I'll see you next time.